welcome to the Gone Traveling Podcast. We are looking at the BKT EuroCup. This is David Hein of the Taking the Charge Substack, and with me, as always, is Marco Munno, communication specialist and collaborator with Sky Sport Italia and La Giornale Tipo, and a somewhat worried Italia basketball fan after their loss to Iceland again at home. Mark, how are you doing?
I mean, it's fine except the loss from Italy. But I just want to spend a word for Achille Polonara because it was really a huge emotion to see him back around the basketball court. So it was really the best thing that you can say, not only from the game, but also for the national team in the recent times, because it was really touching. His whole story and his presence was really uh, felt.
Yeah, we are on FIBA break from the from the Euro Cup, and if you missed the action on day one, what a day! Just mentioned Iceland beating Italy. And that wasn't even the top story. Ignas Sargunas, just incredible. I mean, usually if you're a podcaster, you say, go and watch the highlights afterwards, but go ahead, just stop the podcast, go watch the highlights and come back. 3 pointers, three pointers in the last 9.9 seconds to absolutely shock all of London and GB. And then, Serbia needed to come back from 23 points down to beat Switzerland at home. And you know what, man? That was just day one of the first qualifying window of six. We got until February 2027 for these national team windows. So it starts off with a bang for sure. And I always love national team windows, but we are actually going to be talking about the Euro Cup, and we are on a break, but we did want to bring out a podcast this week. And so what we're kind of doing is just kind of we're almost at the halfway point. We are 8 of 18 games through the regular season, so just one game short. So we're gonna, check out on some the awards that are given out, and a couple surprises. Did want to let you know that a feature is up from myself on Tariq Phillip from London Lions. I do have a Denzel Valentine piece coming up. The Ryer's former NBA player. Something interesting you might not have known about Mr. Valentine. So those, like I said, Phillip is up, and Valentine will be coming up as well. But we are at the halfway point of the Euro Cup, and so what we wanted to do was um, touch on the season that has gone so far. And before we get to the awards that are given up, I want to start with the biggest surprises, and I have two of these for us. One of them is biggest surprise in a positive aspect, and then the biggest surprise in a negative aspect. So let's start with the biggest surprise from a positive standpoint, and I will let you start.
Well, I think I had to go with Berg. I mean, we can think it could be an interesting team, but being 7 wins and 1 loss is really a huge achievement so far, and also because you have a lot of teams that are really equipped for the win, and you don't even think so much that Berg can be the winner at the end of the season. But if you look at the stands and if you look at all their path, you cannot say that Berg is in that league. And I think also in a basketball time in which you're always thinking about the offense, they're really relying on their defense. So um, kind of the old way, or maybe they really had that fighting spirits that it really is letting them to win the game starting from their defense. And I think I can say that they are the team that surprised me the most.
You know, I was trying to figure this out, and Borga had ranked fifth overall, uh, group rated third in my power rankings for Group B. So, I thought they were going to do pretty well. And so they, I was thinking about it, but the team I came up with was Budućnost. Seventh in my power rankings, fourth in Group B. They're 6-2, 3-1 at home, 3-1 on the road. In that, and in a tie with Besiktas at 6-2, right behind Borg. Um, but I didn't think that. I knew that this team could be solid because of the continuity that they had. Bringing back all of those guys, Pharrell, Suleiman, McGee, Tanaskovic, Slavkovic, uh, and then, bringing in Mays, bringing in Boutte, bringing in Boutsier. But I just didn't see them doing this. So that's my surprise. And actually, I had a backup in case you picked them, in case you picked Badushnos, and I'll throw it out there and I'll say Slask at 4-1, 4-4, 4-1 at home. And just think about this: Einars Bagaskas, right? His team is 4-4 in the competition, where in the last 3 seasons they've been in the competition, they are 6-47, 6 wins and 47 losses in the previous 3 seasons, and they're at 500, 4-4. So that was my backup in case you picked Badushnos. So yeah, Borg, solid pick, but I did have them. I did have them being really solid. All right, biggest surprise negative. Looking forward to see what you say on this one.
Well, I was personally thinking that Aris can be really a huge threat for the first position of their group. Instead, they really had a slow start, and they changed a lot now. But they already changed the coach. They bring up new people for the team. They bring up Nua. They bring up Andusic. So they're really changing, and maybe that peak would be really reverted at the end of the season. But as for now, I was waiting. I was expecting Aris to win more than 4 games instead of being in a roller coaster as they were into the competition. As for now, so I'm going with them.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. Especially, I mean, I had them eighth overall, fourth in Group A. Um, yeah, I think your pick is probably better than mine. But here's your question: how can number 18 in my power rankings of the 20 teams, number 18, actually be the biggest negative surprise? Well, Hamburg are 0-8. They're 0-16 this season. And I would venture to say that almost any other team in this competition, if they were 0-16 on the season, we are what, 2 months? No, yeah, 2 months into the season, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
2 months into the season. Your team hasn't won a game. You're in the first 2 months. Your coach probably would be fired for everybody else, but Benko Balashki still has his job. So I really can't imagine how long it's going to be there. The team has made a couple of moves. They got rid of Eric Reed and Carlos Stewart, and they brought in Martin Brunig. and Devon Williams, Devon Daniels. Daniels, looked okay his first game, um, but like I said, I didn't expect very good things out of them, and they've actually been even bigger negative. But I do think yours is actually better. All right, rising star, rising star. So only players, I'll give you six. So only players who are younger than age 22 on July 1st of the summer before the season started are eligible for the award. So that means you have to be born after July 1st, 2003. And there's actually one guy who fits into that, really close on the border. So basically, it's 2003, second half of 2003. A couple of really good names in here. So I'm really looking forward to see who you have.
Well, I think I'm staying in Hamburg because there is one light in Hamburg, and it's the Zachary Perrin. I mean, he's the guy that is really trying to save the whole thing, and he's near to a double double. He's really cultivating his dream to go to the NBA. He was really shining into the 2004. He was the 2004 MVP with France. Uh, uh,
Under
it
20,
was
under 20 European Championship.
Yeah, and I think he's going to its path and also to rack up good numbers in a bad situation like the Hamburg one is really someone that really means a lot. So I think he's the guy that is really standing up among youngsters.
Uh,
It's really a bit of a four, a bit of a five. He's doing a lot of things under the basket. He's got soft hands, so I think he's my choice.
I was actually really interested to see what his numbers were going to look like once they brought in Bräunig, but he's actually just continued to go on. I'm going to give you three other names before I give you the name that I actually I want to pick for my guy. Cameron Huendo Sedevita, 2008 born French kid. He's started to pick it up a little bit. 14 points, 9 rebounds combined in the last two games. Numbers aren't great so far, but 7 and 4.5 rebounds in the last two games, pretty good. Sheikh Niang, 2008 born from Trento. First 5 games was 9 plus points, 2 rebounds, but the last 3 games, 5 points, 3 rebounds combined. And then the other guy who just barely made the cutoff at July 9th, 2003. And we actually talked about the show. I talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago. Agustin Ubal from Manresa, the Uruguayan, 9.6 points, 3.0 rebounds. So putting up big numbers, pretty solid numbers there for a 22-year-old in Manresa. My guy is also in Germany, also 2004 born, son of a Danish basketball legend, Tobias Jensen, with Ulm, Ratio from Ulm. Just shy of 12 points, 3.6 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 2.0 rebounds, 2.6, 2.0 steals. Um, he's been their main point guard, and he's doing a pretty solid job. His development since the last third of last season has been really, really impressive. He also had a really solid game last night. Time of recording for Denmark against Spain. Tobias Jensen, he's my guy as the rising star. Perrin is the guy probably most people are going to think about. They might not realize that Jensen is putting up the numbers, and he's also 2004 born. All right, let's go to the coach of the year. I'm pretty sure I know where you're going, but I'll let you go.
Well, I'm going with Mitrovic. I mean, he already won. He already won the coach of the year with Monaco in EuroCup, but I think he can be on the path to win it again. I mean, if you If you think at Cedevita and you will see them on top of Group A, if you're not able to say in 1 minute, in no, in 30 seconds, which is who is the best player, you have to go with the coach. And I think you can find a lot of people that are really good on Cedevita. You cannot say is the team of him, is the team of the other guy. You can have your choice, but so I think if there is a system like that, you can have to give the credit to the coach. And I think Cedevita has got four players that are scoring in double figures. So and they got also Kennedy, who is 9.9 at the game, so nearly to the to the double figure. So I think they're really able to share their responsibility on offense, and it symbolizes a team that really is able to share, to be connected with all the members together. And I think you have to, in these situations, you have to give the credit to the coach. So I'm going to pick him as the coach of the year so far.
Uh, I actually had another guy that you were going to go to. Before I give him the other guy that I had in the running, Andre Solech with Budućnost, the aforementioned surprise with Budućnost 6-2. But my guy is actually Frederick Foton. I thought you were going to go with Borg being your surprise. Has kind of turned Darius McGee from a massive scorer into a facilitator, which I really like. And he has that Adam Makoka Both Gatch combo, just being an absolute menace on defense. And they just yeah, I just think that the way that he's been able to that's the number one defense in the league, and it's not even really close. They're giving up 530. They've given up 553 points. 553 points. Next up is 620. More than 60 points more over 8 games. So my guy is Frederick Fota. All right, let's move to the MVP. I have a couple of names. But I will, of course, let you start. I can't wait to see who you're saying this one,
Well,
because it's in my eyes, it's open. I mean, I know there's probably one guy who might be ahead, but let's hear what you say.
yeah, and I think that guy, first in points per game, second in assists per game, it's Fats Russell. I think I'm going with him. I think he's really flourishing with Cluj, and he had one 37-point game. He had one 15 assist game. So the baddest game, the worst game that he had, he scored 15, and he had it like against Jerusalem, or he's always going for 20. Okay, he had a 18-point game, and it seems like a bad game. So I think Russell is the MVP for me as for now.
Uh, I would. What I wrote was, if Cluj were better than 4-4, then I would say Fats Russell. But the fact that they're 4-4, you know, I didn't have a chance to go back and look at the history. Actually, let me just see what they say. EuroCup MVP. I don't know what the past has been as far as yeah. So here you have Jared Harper with Jerusalem. You have TJ Shorts with Paris Basketball. They won it. Jerry and Grant, Turk Telecom, I think they made the final, if I'm not mistaken, that year. Jate won it, I think, in 2022, Virtus. So 4-4, I don't think that they. I can't imagine that they would give him the MVP. I don't know. So in that regard, I was thinking Jared Harper because he is still blowing everybody away. He's scoring 24 points a game, 55, 40, 88, plus four, plus just shy of five assists, 24 PIR. I don't know if just trying to see right now. Okay, so he got injured at the end of the in the third quarter of the Cluj game, so I don't know how serious that is. So tempted to say Malachi Flynn with Bajasir, 18 points, 3.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, almost 2 steals. Um, Going along the same storyline with Fats Russell, uh, Kevin Yabo, look at his numbers: more than 21 points, more than 7 rebounds, more than 2 assists. Would you be surprised if Kevin Yabo of Chemnitz is the league leader in fouls drawn? Can I get a wow? Didn't realize that. Ahead of Mister Fouls drawn himself, Jared Harper. Um. So those are a couple of. What happens if Borg win it? Adam Makoka, there's McGee. How about Sedavita? Going back to what you said about them not having a star, Alexei Nikolic, always overlooked. Slovenian national team, all where he's always been. There's always Blazic on that same team. Or Amaja Gibson. So in my eyes, okay, Fats Russell, numbers wise, everything else. I guess we can also, depending on how the season goes out, like if Aris win it, Bryce Jones, don't forget Bryce Jones against Fats Russell, round 9 coming up next week. So yeah, so in my eyes, totally open MVP. Would be kind of cool to see Fats Russell, guy named Fats, winning the MVP. All right. Any other surprise? Any sort of comment? Any other you know
It's,
anything else you want to talk
well,
about from the first 8 rounds?
it's good to see a lot of teams that really are sticking to the top of their groups instead of have one solo team that goes straight to the top. I think it's always good to see some more teams involved into the top spots of each group of their group.
I guess one more name we do need to throw out there, Jaylene Smith, in case Turk Telecom win it. We have officially mentioned Jalen Smith as a MVP candidate in this show. Yeah, it is cool. Obviously we've had the chaos that is around the playoff spots, but just the fact that every spot is available. Don't forget, the top 2 seeds, the top 2 finishers in the groups go automatically into the knockout stage. They do not have to play the round of 16. Yeah, I guess when they don't play they go directly into the quarterfinals. So there is that to remember. All right. I guess if you have nothing else, why don't you let people know where they can find you on the social medias?
Well, I think pretty much on any social media, but mostly on X with the name of Marco A Munno Munno.
And I am at Hein News, HEINNEWS, HEINNEWS on Twitter. And yeah, so Marco, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. We will have a show next week following the action. Action, don't forget, is not Tuesday, Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday. So probably Saturday. Need to figure out exactly when our next show is going to be, but we will have a show for you next weekend after the action of round 9. This has been episode 10 of the Gone Traveling Podcast. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next week.